Hi there and welcome to Andy Robinson RC. Cheers for checking out the channel today and join us on this episode. Now it feels like I haven't been doing much the last few days or so, but probably been about 6 days now since the last video, so I thought I really need to get one out. So today we're going to be looking at two rather cool vintage buggies. We've got here a Graupner Mercury 4-wheel drive buggy. And we've got the MRC Santana Pro 2-wheel drive buggy to take a look at. I'll just put the box down in a minute just because I feel like I can see everyone better. Okay, so we're going to have a quick look at these buggies today. But before I get into looking at these buggies a bit more, I just thought I wanted to give you an idea of what's going on at the minute. Well, you know, certainly with the channel anyway. Now, recently, obviously, most of you know that we've had a new arrival in the family. We've got a tiny little 4-week-old baby in the household now, which is amazing. And also before that, I mentioned, I think in one of my other videos, that something had happened financially that affects me. So again, I won't go into it on here, but that coupled with now having the newborn, which obviously we chose to have, it's created a bit of a problem to a degree for the channel, because my wife now is on maternity, which rightly so, and what that means is when you certainly here in the UK, you go on maternity, you get money coming in, but it isn't your full wage, and it gradually gets less and less as the longer you stay off on maternity. That's just the way it happens. So to carry on having, you know, while we've got less money coming in and whatnot, we're still having to pay for things. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is at the minute. I've had to sell some of my collection off to help with money coming in. You know, that's just the way it is. I must admit, I'm not overly thrilled about it, because I'm having to get rid of stuff that I haven't got around to doing yet, or was going to be done, or some cars that I really wanted to keep hold of. But that, unfortunately, is the way it goes. Now, I'm not here telling you this because I want a ton of sympathy and, you know, woe is me and all that, but I just thought I'd let you know what was going on, and hopefully later on, when things, go back to a bit more of a normal routine, that will change again. But certainly right now, I'm having to sell stuff off, which I am a bit bummed out about, to be honest, because I just didn't want to have to get rid of stuff, but needs must. So I also don't know how long these will stay in the collection for, so it's especially why I'm filming them now, so you can see them. But just so you know what's sort of gone in and gone out, I've got rid of a couple of vintage associated buggies. The Tamiya MB01 Fiat Bath 1000 has just gone. Tamiya Blockhead Motors Hotshot 2. Again, I really didn't want to have to get rid of that, but that's gone. And then there's other stuff, I can't remember it all, to be honest, but you know, a fair chunk of stuff has gone, and there might be some more going as well yet. I think, oh yeah, I've got a bowling digger that I'm not going to get around to doing anything with. That's up for sale at the minute. My Tamiya Bearhawk, that's up for sale. I did have my Striker, but I couldn't bear to sell it in the end, so I took it off sale. But yeah, so just so you know, the collection is going to get a bit smaller for a while, and I'm hoping again at some point it'll build itself back up. The reason also I need to sell is to obviously help pay for things, but if anything new comes out, then I need to be able to that I want to try and get hold of it, then I've got to have some money behind me, and if it's all tied up with stuff sat on the shelf, I can't do that, you know. So anyway, it is what it is. I know a lot of people say that, but I just thought I'd let you know what was going on with the channel at the minute. But the main thing is here, we are looking at these two buggies today. So, as I said. What shall I talk about? Oh, we'll do this one first. Now, this is rather cool. I sort of tried to snap this up as quick as possible and I saw it come up for sale. I have seen images of one of these before, but never one for sale, so I jumped on it really. For those that don't know what this is a Graupner Racing Mercury 4-wheel drive buggy. It's, as you see on the box there, it's got 3 differentials and it's a belt drive as well. The shocks at the top there, they do look a bit like bigwig ones, don't they? Not the shocks themselves, but just the uprightness of the shocks looks a bit bigwig-ish. Similar time period though. This is circa sort of 1986, 1987, but it's very cool, and yeah, I had to sort of jump on this one. So this is the box, as I said. There, it came with its manual as well, although it's a copy of a manual, but it came with a manual. Let's have a look. Sorry, it's oil pressure shocks, which are adjustable. They're oil filled, as I said. Separate body and battery box. Closed body sort of bottom. I'm reading this off the box. All components protected against dust through monocoque construction. Adjustable central differential. All-wheel drive and toothed belt. 3 differentials. Differential with steel gear wheels. So that's what it says, and then it's in a different language then after that. But yeah, it is rather cool. There's anything on that box, there's some more on there. But yeah, so the box is not bad actually. It's a bit of damage to the inside tray, but the rest of it is pretty good. Anyway, because it's clunky, I'm just going to move that down there and out of the way. So, a bit of info on this. I was going to say, it can be difficult finding info out on these, you know, more obscure buggies, I'd say, because unless you were there at the time when they came out, or unless you've had one, it's not always easy to do the research on them. As I said, anyway, this is a Graupner Mercury, roughly 1986 it came out in. Now, this is far as I'm aware, so if I'm wrong, please do let me know. Now, supposedly this was produced by World Engines and then sold and distributed by the companies. So you had the Academy XI4 Mercury, you had the Mugen branded Mercury, and the Graupner Racing Mercury, which is like sold throughout Europe. So I believe that the Mugen and the Graupner are more similar looking to this. That's kind of got a rough box art body, I think. Yeah. Also, certainly from the UK press side, at the time of the 1987 IFMA World Championships, one of these competed in that, and it got known as a Ryuz. I think it's spelled R-Y-U-Z. So a Ryuz or a Ryuz. And actually, I learned from a chap called Terry Cresswell that Ryuz was actually a Japanese hobby shop. Obviously in Japan, used to make custom parts and sell stuff. So that buggy that competed in the IFMA World Championships had a big Ryuz sticker on the wing, and I think sort of the press got hold of that, certainly in the UK, and it got called a Ryuz, but it was never sold under that name, so I believe. Let's have a look. So yeah, so the prototype buggy had the Ryuz decal on the wing there. Also, as well, it was, if I'm sure a lot of you will, the iconic revival weekend. The second one they do in the year is just finished, just this last weekend. And again, a driver there called Terry, I've already mentioned his name, Terry Cresswell. He had one of these there, and he was driving it at the revival, which is mega cool. Except on his, he had Tamiya CVAs all round, which I might have to do to this because some of the shocks have got cracks in the side of the bodies, and I don't think they're going to hold the oil properly, and I don't even know I'm going to get these shocks again. So I might do what Terry's done and just put, for the purpose of running it, get some Tamiya CVAs on it. So that was cool. It must have been brilliant to see one of these going around the track, so that would have been ace. Also, I believe that if anyone's got a copy of the 1987 IFMA World Championships and some of the buggies from it, that some of the pictures were taken. It didn't have the side pods on the body here. It just had an alloy plate underneath, and that's how the battery was retained. Alloy plate so the battery could go across, and it didn't have these side pads on. And the actual body shell was a bit bigger to cover the alloy chassis plate. So yeah. So again, if anyone's got any more information on this particular buggy, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that there just for a second. So what we'll do is I'll just take the body shell off, and you can have a bit of a look inside. I say it's got like a monocoque sort of what do you call it? Chassis that holds all the drivetrain in it as well. So just there you go, just for recording. That's the before I take the wing off and everything. That's the buggy there. So I think it's a really cool looking thing. Right, so I'll just take the wing off there, and then I'll take the body shell off. Body shell is a little tatty, but I can't see myself getting another one of these body shells. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to try and clean this one up and tart it up a bit, and I might redo the line tape around it just to smarten up the shell. But it's an original body, and I don't know if I'm going to get another one, so we'll try and save that one. Okay, so if I hold that up there, you can see there in the middle, that's the actual monocoque chassis there, and all your drivetrains in there. And as I said, it's got 3 differentials in there as well, which you can adjust the third one there. It's got a nut there to adjust it. It's also got, which if you can see it, you might see there, a bit like the Schumacher buggies, it's got eccentric adjustable differentials, like the eccentric drives, so you can alter the tension of the belt. So it's got them fitted front and rear. So that's a bit like some of the Schumacher buggies. It's got, if you can see there, it's got telescopic sliding drive shaft front and rear as well. It's got really big chunky turnbuckles on it. From looking at it as well, looking at it, let's have a look. The plastics are in good condition. The little side pods aren't as in good nick, but the actual chassis itself and the plastics look pretty damn good, to be honest, considering this is getting on for 40 years old now. So I say it's all got electrics in it. I've not fired it up yet. There's a few Taba ESC in there. There's a black cam 540 motor. It's not a Tamiya Sport Tune, but it's a 540 motor in there. It's got a servo. I think it just needs the receiver and handset to make it go. Unfortunately, at some point, it's had the side pod hole in the side pod cut bigger to fit a bigger battery in. That should have a little cover on there that keeps all that closed. And then this is part of the battery retainer. I think you just turn that round there to keep the battery this flap closed to keep the the battery in. So it's a shame it's been cut a bit. I might try and see if I can fit something over the top there to sort of tidy it up. But other than that, it's really good. The wheels are in pretty good nick though. There is a chip on this one here, which is a bit unfortunate, but the rest of them look pretty good actually. And I say overall, the condition of the plastics look really good. Now I don't know how strong these plastics actually are, but I imagine you'd have to be a little careful if it's getting on for 40 years old now. Having said that though, Terry was racing one round at Revival, and he did say he's going to put a post up at some point on one of the forums to say what he did to get it race ready. So that'll be interesting to see. But I didn't know he put Tamiya CVAs all around, which again I might have to go and do a similar thing when I get this up and running, if I manage to hold on to it. But as I said, I did want to show it you before it goes anywhere, if it has to go anywhere. So there we go, Mercury, Graupner Mercury, which is just really cool. It's just such a cool looking thing. It's actually quite a short wheelbase as well though. But yeah, very cool, and I hope you like seeing it. So hopefully we will get to do something more with that. we'll just have to see. Now, the other thing here is this is, you can see that, this is a Santana Pro 2-wheel drive buggy by MRC, French company, and this is one of theirs. Now, I got this off a friend of mine called Guillaume. Well, I can never say his name properly, I have to apologise, but I can say he lives over in Leeds. I've had a couple of things off him before. He's called Guillaume, and he gave me a great deal on this as well. So I said, yeah, this dates back to about 1990. Now, Santana also did a 4-wheel drive buggy. I think it's just called the Santana 4-wheel drive, MRC Santana 4-wheel drive. Now, if I remember to do it, I'll put a link in the video, because Glenn Barkley at Tamiya Legends and RC Legends had the Santana on his channel. You might have seen it as a blue buggy. It looked superb. Now, that did look a bit more like a Kyosho Optima sort of looking buggy. Whether you call it a clone or not, I don't know, but there's certainly influences there. But it was a beautiful buggy, and I'll put a link into the video so you can check it out if you haven't. But this is a Pro 2-wheel drive Santana buggy. Now, again, as I said earlier in this episode, that it is difficult finding out information on these. So again, I've got even less information on this than I had on that. So if anyone's got some info on this this buggy, I'd love to hear it in the comments, please. So as I said, MRC Santana Pro 2-wheel drive, made in France by a French company called MRC. I say circa 1990. Now, I found a post online, and it looked like, I mean, I don't speak French, but it looked like it was, at some point, the regional and national French champion, not this actual buggy, but the buggy. So I thought that was quite cool as well. So, anyway, let's just move that there now, and let's have a bit of more of a look at it. Again, I've done nothing with it really since getting it. It's actually just been sat in the drawer waiting for me to do a video on it. But I think it's a pretty cool thing. So, right, so what I'm going to do is, because the wing doesn't sit on properly, for some reason the holes are in the wrong place on the wing. Anyway, I'll take the body shell off. And again, it's got an under tray, but there's no Velcro on that shell, so it's not really held on properly. Didn't notice that. So, okay, so that is the rolling chassis. You can see it there. Just got a servo fitted, and that's it really. No motor. It's got a carbon top deck. It's been fitted. Now, I don't know if that's a genuine one or it's been made by someone. I'm going to go and say that's been made, because I can see line marks on it from where it's been cut out and marked out in pencil. So I'm going to say that's a homemade carbon top deck. But it's got a carbon top deck, and it's probably GRP or FRP chassis plate there. Okay. Now, as I said, we've got the that's the rear. That's the slipper clutch. No, it's not a slipper clutch. I can't say that. Slipper clutch, just a spare little heat sink on the back of the motor plate. Looks to be, I think this is all bore race by the looks of it, from what I can gather. Motor bolts onto the back, right at the back, and actually it's on this side rather a lot of the time it's on that side. Not always, but on this one it is. It's got turnbuckles all over, as well as it got. Let's have a look and try to. It looks to have like some universal drive shafts as well. I'm not sure if it does, but it does look like that. Yeah, it is. It's got universal drive shafts as well. So, yeah, it is a cool thing. Now, I don't know if this white bit of plastic at the back is a genuine proper bumper. It well could be. Or it's lost its original and someone's made another one for it. But they did look like there was something like that in the one of the original pictures of this. It's got your bell cranks at the front for the steering. I have a feeling that servo might need to be replaced. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, but there you go. MRC Santana 2-wheel drive Pro. Please let me know if you know any more information on this. As I said, this is a 2-wheel drive buggy. I like the body shell on it, looks really cool. I would like to see if I could get another one, but the only 2-wheel drive one I found for an MRC Santana, it's different at the back. So whether there's one of them available somewhere, I don't know. But if not, we will at least use that body. Might change out the wing. The wing's a bit battle scarred, I think. But yeah, very cool. And I wanted to show you guys and girls out there this buggy. So that's going to wrap up this episode for you. Got two rather cool pieces of RC history there. And we've got the the Graupner or Mugen Law Academy Mercury 4-wheel drive belt driven buggy, and then we've got this the Santana Pro from France. So there you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed checking this episode out. Much appreciated. Cheers for everybody who's watched it and tuned in. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's much appreciated, as always. And you can also come and find us and join us on Facebook and Instagram under Andy Robinson RC. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. And we'll see you all soon on the next episode. Okay? Take care of yourselves and see you later. Bye.